Hey everybody, my name is Josh. I'm gonna give y'all the my personal opinion and a couple theories on Phantasm Ravager. Just watched it 3 times this morning, so I'm pretty much it's a good deal. First things first, it was a good movie, a great conclusion to a wonderful series that started the year I was born, 1979. What a wonderful year! They had a bunch of production that went into this. As you know, it was shot over years. Nobody even knew it was coming out until they showed the trailer, the small little teaser trailer for it. Okay, first thing, I want to thank everybody in the cast and crew for putting out a wonderful movie. Do I think this is the end? No. They left it wide open for another sequel. But this is, unfortunately, the last movie for Angus Scrimm, who everybody knows he passed last January, which that was a great loss for the community. Okay, the movie was a roller coaster. Loved it. I'll also say this, that it kind of completed everything, but it left a lot of stuff unanswered still. That goes to my saying that this isn't the last one. Wait for this plane to fly over. Okay, so this movie's primarily about Reggie Bannister. Reggie, as we all know and love. And what seems to be multiple realities of what could be. The whole feel for the movie is just like the original. Some between dreams, some between real. You don't know what's happening. There's no way to tell. They left out two important points to me that could go ahead and define exactly what's going on. One would be after Reggie went through the space gate in the Phantasm Oblivion. When Phantasm Ravager starts out, he's back walking. He says he's came out of the space gate from God knows where. Like, he has no memory of it whatsoever. Okay. If they explained what happened when he went into the space gate, that would probably clear up a lot of this. If this thing's going to be spoiler heavy, so if you don't want to hear no spoilers, go ahead and turn this off. But halfway through the movie, you see that Reggie's hooked up to a machine that looks like a miniature space gate, except it's around his head. And it was explained that that's how the tall man gets his intel. And the tall man also explains that he has a version of himself in multiple dimensions. I mean, dimensions that we ain't even heard of or thought of in our wildest imaginations. So that brings me to my first theory. My first theory is all this stuff's actually going on between multiple dimensions. Reggie, like I said, this is a spoiler. Reggie's been diagnosed with dementia. And Mike keeps coming to him and visiting him and explaining that he's been diagnosed with dementia. But Reggie doesn't want to believe it. That's one of his realities, and it's playing out like he's knows everything that's happened over all the movies, but he's confined to a hospital. The second reality is picking up where he left off from Oblivion. Like I said at the very beginning of the movie, he's coming. He said he's done came out the space gate from God knows where, and he's still looking for Mike. Well, it all blends in together eventually, and it comes to the third reality. The third reality is post-apocalyptic world. The tall man's taking over. Everything's gone to hell. And I'm wanting to say that that's where the Reggie we all know and love is actually playing out. The Reggie from this dimension. If you listen, when Mike's talking to Reggie at the hospital, he explains to him the string theory and mentions the membrane theory. And I believe that the machine that the tall man had Reggie hooked up to get his intel shifts his conscience from one reality or one dimension to another. So every time he jumps in, his mind jumps into one of the bodies of his own self in another dimension, that he's bringing along all his memories. While it's doing this, I also believe that the dimensions are starting to become thinner, because Mike actually explains in the reality where Reggie's got dementia that he's having Reggie's dreams and he's recalling stuff that happened to him after Oblivion. And like I said, do I think this movie's over? The series is over? No. Not at all. Not at all. But this was my little theory to how the movie's playing out. So, like I said, we'll see. If it takes another 20 years to get another one, that's fine. But what I'd really like to see is two or three things to carry on the storyline. Because you got stuff like the time it took Mike and Reggie in Phantasm 2, from the time they started their search for them to the time they actually found them, is never explained. It took a while for them to find them. That would be an awesome TV show. That would be an awesome comic. I'd like to see them do some literature, maybe a video game or two. If it comes down to the money, crowdfund it. It worked for many of stuff. You got Super Troopers 2, got crowdfunded. A bunch of games. The new Friday the 13th game got successfully crowdfunded. And the community's so big on Phantasm, it wouldn't be nothing for it to get crowdfunded. But like I said, it was a wonderful movie. I hope y'all enjoyed it. And I'm out of here.